Hello everybody, Positive Pandre here, back with a brand new review of the new Youngmoze album, Positive Waves. Let's go. This is the second full-length album of young Toowoomba-based rapper Youngmoze, refugee rapper as the Win News crew likes to call him. This album is called Positive Waves and relates well to his positive message that he's bringing through. The album begins with the song Independent, which is the most popular Youngmoze song on YouTube ever, and the beat of the song is very strange. It is accompanied by some vocals by Youngmoze himself with the little ohs. It's certainly an interesting song. It sounds like he's dissing someone in the song. I don't know who he's dissing. It seems as if like in the song he's presenting like I'm successful. Stop trying to flex. You're nothing. It's certainly an interesting message for a positive wave song. An album all about positive waves. But yeah, let's move on to the next track. The next track is Don't Stress. The rhymes are pretty strange in the verses and the actual raps of the song. The singing part's done by Ella. Her voice is a little too rough and a little too smooth in some areas, which creates a really strange song. Because in the chorus she'll be saying something like "Don't stress," something "keep your mind out of it," but she'll be saying it with a lot of emphasis on certain words, and then some have no emphasis at all, which will completely throw off the entire vibe of the singing. It is a generally very angelic in the way that it is composed, but the lyrics and the way it's sung create it to be a very interesting track. The third song on the album, this song was one of the first songs that when I listened to the album the first time that I really liked, and and upon a couple of repeat listens, I found that I really like this song. The song is good, it's relaxing, and it's very complementary to each other. The way that one of the singers, I don't remember their name, but they really work well with Moses' voice, and it creates a really good complementary style to each other. The lyrics make sense, unlike the first two songs with their very strange, the rap's okay, and there are some iffy lines within some of the raps, and Coincidence Campbell has a good voice. It's reminiscent of something, and also one of the interesting lines is "You're a purpose." It doesn't really make much sense to me, but maybe there's a bigger context to it. If there's no bigger context to it, then I'm probably sounding like an idiot. But yeah, "You're a purpose." I don't really understand that, but overall, Feels is an excellent track, really good track. We move on next to Living Wise. Um, the music sounds like it comes from a video game, like Mario Kart or something on the Wii. That's what I heard when I first heard it. Some of the lines are strange, but overall, they're okay lyrics, and it's very watery in the way it's composed. When you listen to it, it's very flowy and watery and has that very swashy kind of sound. We move on next to Jump Around featuring Wally. It could be a very hype song, the way that the beat is composed, but the way that it was done, there's a lot more singing than there is kind of hardcore rapping, which could make it a hype song, but I feel like the effect that that the two were going for, they actually really did well. The verses, yeah, Wally's verses was pretty okay, and the song is actually kind of reminiscent of the song Nephew by what's his name, Smoke Perp, and featuring Lil Pump. Yeah, it has that very high pitched kind of parts into it. The next track, Blessing from God, featuring Styling. The start of the song sounds like a part from ASAP Ferg's work, but that's alright. And it's another song in that video game kind of style that Youngmoze is kind of famous for. And the lyrics are okay. Styling's verse was pretty good, but he dropped a lot of N-bombs, which is not something that you hear a lot in Youngmoze's music, but certainly something that I think Styling does in his own music. And I think it created a good cohesion to Youngmoze's general raps. We move on next to No Quitter. It's very catchy. It's one of the first profoundly positive songs on the album. Sometimes it's a bit mumbly, and the ad libs create actually kind of a good effect. Wally's verse was good, but the mixing was kind of weird, and it sounded a bit like a little baby's verse on on the song Never Recover. We move on to the next song, Blooming, which is a pretty dark song, but it is also hype. It has a great beat, and the drums are really good. I don't know why, but when I listened to it, the drums like really stood out to me. The instrumentals are clear, and the lyrics are some of the most coherent ones in the entire album. There's also a really good cut up at the end of the Wally verse. Ain't Feeling, something like that. It's featuring Volante. The vocals are kind of strange in the song, and it's quite sad. It reminds me of the album 808 and Heartbreak, 808s and Heartbreaks by Kanye West. The Volante verse was pretty good, but nothing great. It was catchy, and generally the beat of the song was pretty okay. It was pretty okay beat. The next song is New Mindset. It sounds like it came from the album Keep the Light, which was the first Youngmoze album, with the instrumentation, the vocals, the lyrics, and overall it has a pretty good message. Feel Free is the next song on the album. The vocals are very weird, the message is kinda weird, but it's generally okay. The beat is pretty good, and Youngmoze's accent switches a lot in it, and when you're listening to it, it's kind of like it's kind of comical in a sense, but it's kind of confusing in another sense. There's also one part of the song from 2 minutes and 45 seconds to 2 minutes and 59 seconds. It's just like a random break, and there could have been a verse on there or a guess. I don't know. Move on to No featuring Chico. It is very layered a lot, and at the beginning it sounds like it could be a Daft Punk song. It's kind of strange. There's a lot of drums, which actually creates a pretty good beat. The amount of drums that were used in it, I can hear certainly 4 different types of drums. Chico's verse had good content, but his high-pitched voice sounds a bit rushed and near to breathless at times. And it's also a very sad and negative song for a positive album. Youngmozes' verse was also really sad, and also reminded me of the album 808s and Heartbreaks by Kanye West. It was a very, very sad and depressing end to a Positive Waves album, which created a weird mindset, a new mindset maybe, in the ears of the listeners, and especially me. I don't know, it was a very strange song to end with. Overall, there was some pretty great songs on the album. Those being Feels is probably one of my favorite songs. But some of the songs were really sad and confusing, but they were generally okay. It was not groundbreaking, but it was certainly experimental at times. It wasn't a particularly positive album or a very uplifting album, though the title did insinuate that it would be. But it was generally an okay album. I'm rating this a 6.5 out of 10. Okay everybody, thank you for watching. You're the best, you're the best. Did you give it a listen? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Leave down in the comments below. I love hearing your opinions. Thank you for listening. If you have anyone that I should react to next, tell me down in the comments. There was a guy who commented on my last video that I was saying that I should react to someone. I listened to a bit of his music. I don't really know if I really want to do a reaction to it. I might be a bit too harsh. Yeah, thanks for everybody for watching. Positive Pandre forever.